after that Manchester United win versus Aston Villa. And what a game that was. So today I'm going to be putting my Q&A, and I want to hear from you guys what your thoughts are about Manchester United, about Michael Carrick, because now we know exactly that Michael Carrick is capable of bouncing back. So I want to know how you guys feel, because we are edging closer and closer to actually having to have nothing to say about Carrick as Manchester United manager, because the football is happening, and Michael Carrick has now bounced back off from a defeat that he took, and Manchester United obviously took against Newcastle United, and he has done it by beating Aston Villa, Unai Emery's Aston Villa. And wow, what a win that was. 3-1 at Old Trafford for Manchester United and Michael Carrick. So let's talk about that today. And I also want to talk about Michael Carrick's post-match press conference and what he had to say about the victory as well. So that's much very important. But yes, there is a lot to talk about, and Manchester United are flying high once again. So it's good. It's good that we were capable of bouncing back, and this is it's the right way to go about for Manchester United. So let's see what happens throughout the season. So I'm going to be putting my Q&A, and let's go with a will Man United finish second in Prem? Because I mean, there are possibilities. Honestly speaking, there are possibilities. Sorry, let's add that there on top. And I mean, look at us. We're flying high right now. We are third on the log, 54 points. I think we are 7 points behind Manchester City. And to say that we're not capable of surpassing Manchester City, that's just, it's very silly to say, because things are wide open now for Manchester United. So let's see what happens. But right now, in this very moment, I'm at the fact that Manchester United are currently ahead of Unai Emery's men. We managed to get the 3 points. We did it against them. We knew coming up to this game that it was going to be a super vital game for Manchester United and Michael Carrick. So we went there, got the 3 points, and that is what matters. Thanks to a brilliant performance from Bruno Fernandes, as well as obviously Casemiro, and the team did well. Another Benjamin Sesko goal, and it seems like these guys are doing it for us. Seems like the form is there, and the consistency as well. We did have a hiccup against Newcastle United, but we've bounced back, and that's what people wanted to see from Michael Carrick. We wanted to see, can Manchester United and Michael Carrick bounce back from that defeat to Newcastle United? So I was also waiting. I was wanting to see exactly if Michael Carrick was capable of doing that, if he had a response, and it seems like he did. And here we are, sitting above Unai Emery's Newcastle United, sitting above Liverpool. They've been playing bad this season. We know that. Sitting above Chelsea as well. So they lost to Newcastle United. And I'm just happy, I'm super happy. I was happy with the result as well. 3-1. What a result it was for Manchester United. So it's Michael Carrick's fifth win at home at Old Trafford with Manchester United. Played 5 times at home, won all 5. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? Michael Carrick. Wow, what a guy. I mean, I don't think so. Alex Ferguson has done that before, I don't think so. Alex Ferguson has won his first five at Old Trafford. So Michael Carrick's the only manager, is the only manager, sorry, that has won five home games in a long time, a very long time. So we're talking in the probably in the 70s, in the 60s. So wow, what an achievement that is for Michael Carrick. And all of a sudden, the Manchester United supporters are backing Michael Carrick once again. And that's just how it is. I mean, it makes sense, we're not going to be um, happy with losing, So big ups to Manchester United. If you just joined the channel, don't forget to hit that sub button. Don't forget to hit that like button. GGMU, what a win it was for Michael Carrick, Manchester United against Aston Villa. So that's good. It's good that we won that game. So now we've got to wait again. Not too long that we have to wait because we play on Friday again. So I'm excited. We're playing Bournemouth. It's going to be an interesting game, but hopefully we can keep the momentum. Amy Norman says, remember me? Yes, I do, definitely. Welcome back to the channel. 3-1. Wow, what a performance. Guys, if you're new to the channel, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Manchester United 3, Aston Villa 1. So I'd obviously like to talk about what Michael Carrick had to say. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe, guys. Hit that like button. Let me know also, will Manchester United actually go out there and finish above Manchester City? Can we reach Manchester City? Now that's the question. Who else is ahead of us? That's what Michael Carrick's going to have to see. But right now, I feel like one game at a time, one game at a time. And our next game is not so far off because Friday we go again against Bournemouth, so we're the first ones up. And I'm excited, I'm excited. I haven't been watching a lot of Manchester United football. So I'm happy. No, Amy says, I can't believe it. Manchester United 3-1 versus Aston Villa. I mean, why can't you believe it? Because Michael Carrick has been giving you every reason to believe that Manchester United are capable of doing this. Why are we surprised? Yes, we lost to Aston Villa the last time out, but um, we didn't have Michael Carrick. I forgot who was manager. I think it was Ruben Amorim, whereas Morgan Rogers scored two crackers of a goal. So luckily we didn't allow for them to come to Old Trafford and do the double against Manchester United. So that's good. That's good. I'm happy, super happy with the performance. Matheus Cunha, Benjamin Sesko, all these guys, Casemiro, wow, wow. Each and every time Casemiro plays football, he does amazing, you know. And he just reminds us of what a great footballer he is, So we are going to miss Casemiro come the end of the season in the summer. So I'm not ready for that. Honestly, I don't think any of the Manchester United supporters are ready. I don't think the recruitment team is ready as well, because who do we bring in? Um, but it's a crazy stat. It's a crazy, crazy stat because Bruno Fernandes now has 5 assists to Casemiro where he's scored with his head now. So it's 5 times a season where Bruno Fernandes has assisted Casemiro and that he scored with his head. So that's crazy. What a crazy stat, We know that in the box, Casemiro is super dangerous. Sorry. So having Casemiro defending in your half and having him in the opposition half is just, it's a plus, defensive wise and attacking wise. So big ups to Casemiro right there. What a player. And I'm also hearing Bruno Fernandes talks of player of the season for the Premier League. So will Bruno Fernandes win Player of the Year? Sorry, Potty. Can he win Potty Player of the Year for the Premier League, having 16 assists? 4 shy away of Kevin De Bruyne and Thierry Henry. So that's crazy, guys. If you think about it, that's a crazy stat. Talking 16 assists. 16 assists. He's doing mad numbers here. He's stat padding. That's what Bruno Fernandes is doing, and he's doing it well. He's doing it well. They're not just any boring assists. They come with quality. They come with quality as well. You saw the one to Casemiro. You saw the one to Matheus Cunha. Bruno Fernandes is next level. His vision is out of this world, guys. Wow, what a player. What a blessing. I don't know where Manchester United would be without Bruno Fernandes. Guys, if you just joined the channel, don't forget to subscribe. I'm trying to hit 1,000 subscribers, and we're on our way to doing so. So big ups, Manchester United. Let's see what the guys are saying here. Cunha's celebration is crazy. I play for a team. When I score on Saturday, I'm going to do that celebration. I mean, he can surf all he wants, as long as he's scoring. And what a finish that was, because a lot of the times we've seen Matheus Cunha in that sort of position, but he hasn't been capitalizing on it. The finishing hasn't been good for Matheus Cunha ever since he had joined Manchester United. But then in that second half of the season, I would say, nearing that second half of the season, it improved. It looked much better, because you can see that's a Cunha trick, to go down from the channels and cut in like that, like you just saw. That's a trademark Cunha finish, and I was just so glad that that ball went in at the back of the net. So I was happy. And we're not talking about any keeper as well. We are talking about Martinez, fam. Amy Martinez. So I'm glad that we managed to score. We managed to score. We managed to score first as well. We conceded a goal too, so there was nothing we could have done. But at the end of the day, we won there. Benjamin Sesko 9 goals, Brian Mbuemo 9 goals, Cunha 7 goals, Casemiro 7 goals, Bruno Fernandes 7 goals, 16 assists. Amy says, hey, would you shut up and leave the stream if you are going to be rude? A friend who is called Ron has done it all the time. Chelsea's so crooked. Bad dogs. I'm not being rude, guys. I'm just being honest about Manchester United here. I'm celebrating my wins, as a Manchester United supporter. You as a Manchester United supporter, you know exactly just how long we've been waiting for this sort of performance here. And I wouldn't say it's the best of performances, but they are happening, They are happening, The results are coming out here, and I'm just glad. I'm glad. I want to see Champions League. I need to hear the Champions League music. I need to go throughout the week knowing that I'm watching my team in the Champions League. I'm tired of being a neutral. So, like I was saying, the biggest test here for us Manchester United supporters and Michael Carrick himself was for us to witness the fact that Michael Carrick was able to bounce back, from that defeat. We wanted to see if Carrick could have bounced back, and he did so. Now we know that Michael Carrick is capable of switching up. He did talk about working on a lot of things in training, and it seemed like it worked. Manchester United looked organized, let's be honest. Aston Villa isn't an easy team to defeat. They may be in a bad run of form right now, but it was clear that Michael Carrick needed to top that up. Make sure that we took the 3 points, especially at Old Trafford. But wow, I'm liking the home record right now, because five times since Michael Carrick joined, we haven't lost at home. So our home record is there, and I like that. I like the fact that we are being respected at home. The theater of dreams is back. It's back. You can see it. 61 points is what Manchester City have. We are 7 behind them. So can we reach Manchester City on the log? You know, is it possible? You know, dare to believe, dare to dream. 5 points ahead of Liverpool, 5 points ahead of Liverpool. And guys, like, you know, tell myself, okay, I'm going to be going to stream and talk about Manchester United, but you know, the one thing that I can't get over my mind is Bruno Fernandes. Always Bruno Fernandes. Like, there's nothing to talk about besides Bruno Fernandes, you know, it's just what he's doing right now, not just with Manchester United, not just in the Premier League, but in football, you know, in football in general. It's just Bruno Fernandes. You get me? So, um, let's see what happens. Let's see what happens with Bruno Fernandes. But for me, 100%, I see Bruno Fernandes getting that Premier League record sooner rather than later. You know, I can see him getting another 2 assists against Bournemouth. So, guys, he's going to get it. Calm down. Don't stress. It's going to happen. Bruno Fernandes is going to break that assist record. You can tell, you can see it. Guys, if you just joined the channel, don't forget to hit that sub button. Leo Chats Football. Let's talk football. Manchester United 3-1 versus Aston Villa. But yes, allow us to celebrate, you know. Why can't we celebrate? That's my question. Why aren't we allowed to celebrate? You get me? Because we've suffered a lot as supporters. We've suffered a lot. You know, tomorrow there's Champions League. Wednesday, there's Champions League. Manchester United aren't playing in there, so it's only right that that we're playing on Friday as well. So makes sense. Makes sense. You know, allow us to celebrate. We don't get to watch our team midweek, so it's rare for us this season. But we need to make sure that we secure the Champions League spot, and I'm happy at the fact that Manchester United are third right now. You know, I feel safer being third than being fourth. You know, it gives us that cushion to know that okay, maybe Champions League could be secured now that we are third. So I'm happy with that, man. I'm happy with that. Especially when we got our rivals, the likes of Chelsea, the likes of Liverpool, who are actually struggling. You know, they got their own issues right now. So it makes it all good. It makes it all good. You know, but take nothing away from Manchester United. You know, I feel like that game against Aston Villa was a bit boring in the first half, but second half we switched on the gear, which was good, and we made it happen. You know, we made it happen at the Stretford end. So I'm happy with that. I'm happy with that. And then Bournemouth away. How are we feeling about Bournemouth away? You know, they haven't been playing the best of football this season. You know, I wouldn't say they have been. So they are, you know, in the second half of the table. I wouldn't say bottom of the table, but they haven't been playing good football. Can we beat them? That's also another question. Or are we just going to go there to Bournemouth and embarrass ourselves, you know? Because we know how Manchester United have been. It's almost like we've been used to playing once a week, you know? And physically we aren't, or mentally I would say we aren't ready to be playing games in a short span of time this season. You know, like especially with the game against Newcastle United. I think we had played Crystal Palace, then it was Newcastle United in I think 3 days' time, and we ended up losing. So I don't know what could it be. You know, can we keep the momentum? It'll be interesting. But the fact that we are ahead of Aston Villa, you know, makes me at ease. 54 points, Villa 51. So let's see what happens, guys. Let's see what happens. But this stat here, this stat, Sesko 9 goals, Buemo 9 goals, Cunha 7, Casemiro 7, Bruno 7. These guys are producing, they're delivering, you know, they're putting food on the table. I'm talking Sesko, Mbuemo, and Cunha, especially because these guys are our new signings. They're the new guys that Amorim brought in. And look at them, flooding us with goals. Each and what each of them are contributing. You get me? So that's one of the things that's been a positive for us this season. It's the fact that our signings from the Ruben Amorim era have stepped up, with the likes of Benjamin Sesko, um, starting or not starting. We know we can get a goal from him now. So he's on his Leipzig form right now. Wow, what a player! That goal that he scored. People think that it might have been a sloppy goal or an easy goal, but at the end of the day it wasn't. If you look at that replay, you can see Benjamin Sesko still having to get in between two players, still having to hurdle over players, and then still do the whole 360 shot. There's a lot of detail to that goal. But wow, Benjamin Sesko. Guys, if you just joined the channel, welcome. Drop your comments. Let's share some football. We are talking Manchester United beating Aston Villa. So at Old Trafford as well. Big ups to Chat of Africa. Hope you're having a good evening. Uh, So then, yes, a few things that Michael Carrick needed to say. He spoke about Bruno Fernandes, of course, assists, 16 assists in 2025-2026 season. Wow, guys, give this man the Ballon d'Or. Give Bruno Fernandes the Ballon d'Or. What a player. What a player. And the one thing that Michael Carrick was talking about was players coming in and going, especially with Casemiro. He said that these good players, they come, they go, and I'm thinking to myself, how do you replace Casemiro? How do you replace Bruno Fernandes? Guys, come on. And like I've always been saying, to be honest with you, I've never thought that we would be able to replace the likes of Paul Pogba. I will go as back as talking about Paul Pogba. When he left, I didn't know how we were going to cope, but we ended up coping. So maybe it's not a bad idea. Maybe um, we're going to upgrade from Casemiro. Who knows? But right now, what a player. He's going to go to the World Cup, with his chest puffed up because he knows he's the Brazil captain. He's Casemiro, five-time Champions League winning Casemiro. And he's been showing that. Class is permanent. You get me? Casemiro, Cunha, these guys. Wow, guys. I feel like uh, 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 we've won the lottery here with these guys. Benjamin Sesko, he's still developing, still so young, still so young. How old is he? 23, 24. Wait a couple seasons. This guy's going to be crazy, unstoppable. He needs to work a lot more on his physicality as well because he is somebody who needs to be bullying defenders, like the likes of Erling Haaland and Voltemade and these guys. So let's see. Hopefully things can improve from him. Drip said Carrick should be permanent manager. What I'm saying, you see what I'm saying, and of course you're going to say that because you wouldn't Drip. You wouldn't have said that had Michael Carrick lost. You wouldn't have said that had he lost to what's the name, Aston Villa. So I feel like a lot of the Manchester United fan base, I'm not saying you specifically, but a lot of us, we change over time. We have this knee-jerk reaction to results. We are very reactionary, and it shouldn't be that way. So if you're Carrick in, then Carrick in, mate. You get me? So don't be changing by next week now because we suffered against a Bournemouth. If you back him, you back him, and that's how it's got to be. But big ups to you, mate. How do we replace him next season? Let's get it. Definitely. Wonderful horseshoe says, well, didn't Newcastle do you a favor at the weekend. I mean, at the end of the day, we have to be doing our own favor here. We have to be getting our own 3 points. We can't be relying on our rivals. You get me? But we'll always take the favor anyway. So, you know, we don't know what happens tomorrow. We could be the ones that are suffering defeats, and we might need, these sort of times to happen. So, big ups, big ups. Big ups to that. So yes, he spoke about it, and wow, it's going to be interesting. And I can't it's the fact that we are witnessing Bruno Fernandes sort of breaking this record, this Premier League assist record, right in front of our eyes is crazy, and doing it so the season. It's just it's beautiful, It's such the symphony. What an amazing time to be alive as a Manchester United supporter, I would say. But big ups to him. And then there's Lenny Yoro performing well because of the Lissandro Martinez injury. Guys, if you just joined the channel, don't forget to subscribe. Let's grow the community together. And GGMU. Manchester United 3-1, Aston Villa. So yes, Lenny Yoro performing well once again. This guy is a gladiator. You saw him putting body on the line. He's getting boots to face, but he is still there. Still young, only 20, 21 years of age. We are set with that whole centre-back situation. I love the fact that we have people who we can rely on, between Maguire, Lissandro Martinez, Lenny Yoro, what's his name, Aiden Heaven. These guys you can rely on. I see that they've been keeping it solid at the back. Lenny Yoro, the performance that he put out, you could say it's top 2 this season. One of the best performances that he's put out. You can see Lenny Yoro wants to go to the World Cup. He wants to be selected for France, and Didier Deschamps would be very silly for not picking Lenny Yoro to go to the World Cup. Like, come on, guys. What a backup Lenny Yoro has been. And he's obviously one for the future. Still young, still a lot of work. Him, Aiden Heaven, guys, we are blessed. We are blessed there at the back. Harry Maguire is cooking the season. Definitely Harry Maguire. Wow, I've never been so comfortable watching Harry Maguire on the ball. Totally different player. Totally different player. Harry Maguire. But still, we don't know if he's going to be extending the contracts. So let's see what happens. Let's see what happens with Harry Maguire as well. I also heard that we were going after Murillo, or we were having a look at Murillo. So there could be a look at that. But I don't think we're needing another centre back. I'd rather have us focus on a new midfielder, And I heard that we're also getting, we're making some profit from Marcus Rashford, that is. And I think it was Hoyland, So those two. We could be making something of 80 million for the 2 players there. So at least there's that to look at. What do we do about Casemiro leaving next season? Chat of Africa is asking. I'm glad that you asked that, Chat of Africa. But right now, I've been talking about João Gomez from Wolverhampton, I was watching his compilation just the other day, or his highlights, and wow, guys, wow. João Gomez is a contender. He should be a contender for that Casemiro replacement. What a player. What a player, João Gomez. And he's only 25. He's definitely going to the World Cup. Definitely going to the World Cup. But like I've always been saying, João Gomez, Tonali, and all the likes of Adam Wharton or Elliot Anderson. But we've also now, we're hearing that Manchester City are going to be making a bid come the end of the season for Elliot Anderson. I don't know what that is about, but I would be very upset if Manchester City do go out there and end up hijacking this deal. I will be so upset knowing that Elliot Anderson joined Manchester City, Manchester United. Even if we don't sign him, I'm not with that. Um, Mr. 1984 says respect on the channel, keep it up. Bless up, mate. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. GGMU. But yes, that's the question. Will Manchester United finish second in the Premier League? We've been doing so well that anything is possible nowadays with Michael Carrick and Manchester United. So then, Casemiro, important for Manchester United. Yes, we know that, guys. We know that. It's like every weekend or every time we play, Casemiro scores, we go into this emotional state, and then we start talking about, oh no, we start panicking about who we're going to get after Casemiro, and it's obviously been a thing. It's been a thing, but we have to come to conclusion. We have to come to terms with it that he's going, and he's on a farewell run right now, and it's a beautiful watch. It's a beautiful watch, but he's very important. I need somebody who has experience, who can come and stand next to a Kobe Mino and support him as well, But yes, Big L losing Casemiro. What a voice he is in the dressing room, But things happen, Eras come to an end. Eras come to an end. Guys, if you just joined the channel, don't forget to hit that sub button, like as well. Thank you so much for joining. Stella from Germany, and he's only 24. Well, I haven't been hearing too much about Stiller, but I'm also interested, I'm interested to see what he does. So are Manchester United maybe waiting for the World Cup? Are they waiting to see what happens during the World Cup, how Stiller plays, Maybe we're waiting for the big moment, but who is Angelo Stiller? Chat of Africa is asking. You see what I mean? You see what I mean? I don't think Manchester United are monitoring him in that sort of in that way. But yes, Angelo Stiller, he's a player from Frankfurt, I think it is. Hi, I love Man U. Elizabeth says, yes, we all love Man U. Don't forget to hit that sub button. But yeah, big ups to Manchester United, I'm super happy with that. Bruno leaving Manchester United as well. Every time Michael Carrick has a press conference, they ask him about Bruno Fernandes. And it is so annoying, so annoying. Every time is Bruno leaving. Just like Casemiro, every time Bruno gets an assist, every time he scores, every time he plays well, is he leaving? No, Bruno Fernandes is not leaving, guys. And I think Michael Carrick has made that clear as well. He's happy, he's not leaving, and he's our captain. Thank you so much for subscribing, Elizabeth. Big ups to you. But yes, that's what's going to happen. I think Bruno is here for another, I think 2 years maybe. But depending, he wants to win a major with Manchester United. He wants to win the Premier League. So I feel like he's waiting for, I'm giving it next season. Bruno Fernandes is hungry, he's ambitious. So he's waiting for the Premier League, and he deserves the Premier League. What a decorated player. He shouldn't be falling out like Steven Gerrard, who's never, you know, got the chance to actually go out and winning the Premier League and being such a a respected footballer, a player who's won a lot. So one of our legends for sure. Chat of Africa says, yes, mate, one of our legends for sure. Definitely. Oh, he's there. He's in that Hall of Fame. Like I'm saying, give him the Premier League Player of the Year award. Wow. Because what he's doing for Manchester United right now, I don't think anybody else would be able to do this job. There hasn't been anybody else who's been doing the numbers that Bruno Fernandes has been doing post Fergie era. So, wow. Will you shout me out? Big ups to Elizabeth Costford. Yes, definitely, definitely. What are your guys' thoughts? Will Manchester United end third this season, or will they surpass Manchester City? That's going to be interesting. Um, Bruno Fernandes breaking David Beckham's assist record. Wow. When I heard that, when I heard that Bruno Fernandes broke David Beckham's assist record, and I think the record was 15 assists in a season. Bruno Fernandes went and got 16. We're talking back in I think the 1970s here. Guys, this was a long time back. This was a long time back. And Bruno Fernandes has done it. What a guy. What a bowler. Uh, Namek says, good luck beating Man City and Arsenal. They need Ronaldo. Low. Right, guys. So then, like I said, 5 home wins for Michael Carrick. 5 home wins. 5 home wins. Wow. Wow. What a time. 3 points ahead of Aston Villa as well. And hopefully we can go out there on Friday and win it. But my question is Michael Carrick going to start Benjamin Sesko? Is he willing to start Benjamin Sesko over Brian Mbeumo? What's going to happen? Who do you guys think should start, Benjamin Sesko or Brian Mbeumo as the sole number 9? Because I feel like Amad Diallo didn't have a bad game overall. He didn't have a bad game. So I was happy with his performance as well. We're unbeaten in the Premier League at home. Definitely unbeaten in the Premier League. 9 games for Michael Carrick, 7 wins, 1 draw, 1 loss. What a stat. What a stat. And you can see Michael Carrick is somebody that doesn't listen to the media a lot. He doesn't open up social media and catches feelings, to what a Paul Scholes has to say. He's obviously somebody who minds his own business. His emotional intelligence is obviously it's obviously big. So you can tell, what a guy, and he knows how to answer when it comes to press conferences, and big guy, big guy. Will he get the full-time job? Will he get that permanent role? I do not know. I don't know what Manchester United are doing behind the scenes. We don't know who's available right now. We don't know who's going to be available come the end of the season as well. So I really hope that Manchester United and the high-ups don't make an irrational decision. But right now, I'm pro-Carrick in pro-Carrick. You know, Pro Carrick. The football might not be the best football, but you can see progression. You can see progression, with our defense as well. And I feel like our injury lists as well has been quite decent, ever since we've gotten Michael Carrick in as well. So our attack, a lot of goals, you can see. Goals are coming from all areas of the pitch, which is good. Which is good. Players playing in their natural position, one of the core aspects as to why we are playing so good. But yes, guys, this is the Manchester United post-match reaction, and we will be live once again, same time tomorrow. Thank you so much for joining. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe to the channel. GGMU. Carrick, It's hard to believe it's not Scholes.